Sylvia. 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 Sylvia.
Andrea.
Oh, Andrea.
All right, okay. Ellen. Ellen. Alice. Alice.
Gemma.
Oh, Gemma.
What's Gemma?
Her name's Maria.
Maria.
Eleanor.
Phil.
Eleanor.
Eleanor.
Now.
Oh, that one is
Yeah.
Maria.
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 Oh, sorry. Vanilla.
Manula.
Nina.
Nina.
Jessie.
Jessie.
Ajit.
Agnes.
Natalie.
Natalie.
Gloria.
Gloria.
Laura. Sounds like the Adams family.
Sing along.
Right.
Frank.
Frank.
Daniel.
Daniel.
Yes.
Yes.
Alicia.
Alicia. Danielle. Bianca. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Thanks so much for engaging with us just now. We threw you in the deep end without doubt. Welcome to PizzIMMERSION Professional Development. The theme for us today is music and engagement. My name is Sylvia Hosking. I'm a former bass player with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra of about 20 years. I'm also the manager of the PizzIMMERSION program. Next to me are the teaching artists from the Pizzicato Effect. Say hi, guys. Good. So I'd like to begin today by acknowledging the traditional owners on the land on which we meet. I'd like to pay my respects to elders past and present. MSO would like to acknowledge the generous support from the Victorian Government Department of Education and Training. This PizzIMMERSION program is fully funded through the government's Strategic Partnerships program. Our aim through this is to provide practical training in the use of the Pizzicato Effect's musical strategies to address things like behavioural management and engagement, identity and inclusion, self-expression and leadership. So I'd like to share a little bit about the beginnings of PizzIMMERSION. We have a flagship community program with the MSO called the Pizzicato Effect. This program runs out of Meadows Primary and is a wonderful all-encompassing project for anyone who has anything to do with it. The program provides free string instrumental and musicianship tuition to children living in the city of Hume. Pizzi, as it's known, is closely aligned with the principles of El Sistema, which is an internationally celebrated program that promotes the benefits of music making to children's development. It has its origins in Venezuela, working with children experiencing extreme disadvantage and poverty, and since 1975 has transformed many young lives. The aim of this program is not to create professional musicians per se, although that certainly has been the case. The chief conductor of the Los Angeles Philharmonic is a graduate of an El Sistema program. However, it is to create great citizens of the world, people for whom life has meaning and who desire to contribute positively to the world. Research was conducted by Melbourne University and was published in 2015. It found that our Pizzicato Effect program is a proven pathway to enhanced academic performance and social emotional well-being for participating children. So, given this success, we now have the opportunity to develop a new direction within the program. Initially, we intended to bring these PD sessions to the Pizzi students' classrooms, but after consulting with school principals, we realised that we could actually make much more impact across many more schools for other students who don't have the benefits of being involved with our program. Some principals have talked about the Berry Street education model and found our ideas to go hand in hand with this. We believe that what we do today will be of great use to you in terms of general student engagement in many situations, brain breaks, and also in some instances linking to curriculum. The benefits of participating in PizzIMMERSION PD sessions also include a relationship with the MSO. and potentially also the pizzicato effect. I'm aware that there are some students from Roxburgh College at pizzicato effect. I'm not sure if you are, but it certainly made a difference in their lives. And while we're close to capacity out at Meadows, Roxburgh College has an opportunity when places come up in our annual intake and mid-year to have their students come to our program, and also invitations to attend concerts by the Pizzicato Effect and also other relevant MSO programs such as Education Week. I'd like to acknowledge your efforts to attend this PD session after a long day at work. We recognise your enthusiasm to explore an avenue of education which is likely foreign and probably very daunting. Please let me reassure you, we are actually more overwhelmed than you. The work you do as teachers is absolutely a massive commitment to our students, and we realise that what we're going to show you today is just the tip of the iceberg of what you already do. So we'd like to thank you for your open minds and the opportunity to share in this hopefully helpful and definitely fun experience today. So essentially what the teaching artists will share is the skills and activities they use at the Pizzicato Effect to increase student engagement, and so that you can bring that into your classroom. Our aim is to help you find the confidence today to deliver these musically inspired strategies. So please feel free to engage as much or as little as you'd like, but we probably want you to be slightly uncomfortable, not completely comfortable, to get the most out of today. We will hand out mini lesson plans today of all the activities, so you'll have everything in front of you. So you shouldn't need to take notes. Really, your only responsibility today will be just to engage as fully as possible so that you can really experience what you can bring to your class. So I'd like to introduce today's teaching artists. We have Andrea Keeble on first violin, Ellen Block on second violin, and we're third violin, Alice Gaynor and Gemma Tomlinson on cello. Andrea, would you like to say a little bit of your background, just so we know who you are?
I actually trained to be a secondary school teacher, and I got to the end of it, and I stupidly thought it wasn't maybe creative enough for me. And 25 years later, I realised it's one of the most creative professions outright. And that actually being an orchestral musician, I shouldn't probably say this on tape, should I? But it didn't lead to using my imagination, as I felt that I had the capacity to. So blending my life with performance as well as teaching is pretty much what I do. So I can call myself a freelance musician, but that's a really general term. I perform in a number of different ensembles, and I enjoy composing for them. So generally these days when I work with other musicians, we're working together to create things. And I could take that to my professional life as an educator. Pizzicato Effect is a great example of that. I feel like every second of my time out at Meadows Primary on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm put to the test, as in, how can I creatively do something with what is presented in front of me, which I'm sure you probably feel as teachers. I think that's probably enough from me.
I'm Ellen. I grew up in Hamilton in Western Victoria. I moved to Melbourne in 2013 to commence a Bachelor of Music Performance out at Monash Uni. Currently I'm finishing off my honours out there while I'm teaching here at the Pizzicato Effect, as well as at Watsonia North Primary School and Parkville Music School. So.
I'm Alice. I also study music performance at uni, though since finishing I've kind of gone in a few different directions. I do a lot of instrumental teaching at schools, like a one-on-one sort of situation, but also what I really love at the Pizzicato Effect is that we teach as a team, and we have debrief and sort of planning meetings where we get to talk about all these things that are working and that aren't working and the challenges that we have, and we have this sort of communication and this sharing. So I think for me, like, I got into music because I like the sound, but then I found that it's the sharing of the music that I'm actually quite passionate about, whether that's like going to concerts with all my friends or talking to people about like this cool pop song I heard on the radio, or I'm also learning like how to play synth and getting into electronic music. So it's just sort of this sharing, and I found that like I share music with so many of my friends outside of work, but then to be able to share through violin teaching, I just find really rewarding as well.
My name's Gemma, and I did a couple of years in Queensland studying undergraduate music, and finished my formal studying here in Melbourne. So I've done around about 7 years of performance study, and so the last couple of years I've really started to step into teaching, and I couldn't agree more with Andrea's sentiments, and also Alice, in that it's the creativity that you have to constantly be thinking on your feet and finding ways to inspire children. That's something that has really struck me in starting out in my teaching positions. It's been really, really wonderful to start to learn how to engage with children and actually put yourself back into that position of being a student yourself, and really try to assist them in every way possible. And I think Pizzicato Effect, that was probably the first role I ever had that I was engaging in a group class, and I think that's where I really agree with Alice. It's so amazing to be able to share ideas and share knowledge with other teachers. So, yeah.
Great, thank you. I couldn't have musicians in the room of this calibre and not let them play for you. So we're lucky enough to be able to hear one of Andrea's compositions called Emma's Quartet. Thank you, everyone. Alice is now going to take us for a group activity, so get ready to move.
The game is called poison rhythm because there is a rhythm that is chosen that is poisonous. And if you clap this rhythm, you are out. You've been poisoned. So the game starts with the poison rhythm being decided. So I'll just pick one to show you what it would be. So words are quite helpful if you attach the words to the rhythm that you're clapping, mostly so that you remember it, because you're clapping all these different rhythms and the kids end up remembering it. If you forget them, you have to start again. But so something like this is the poison. Would you clap that back with me? So that's the rhythm you don't want to clap. But now you know what it is. So I'm going to clap a series of rhythms. They're going to be that length. So this is the poison rhythm. So there's 4 beats of length in this pattern. And so I'm going to clap one, you're going to copy them back. But if you hear this is the poison rhythm one, you don't want to clap that. If you do clap that, you're poisoned and you sit. Yes?
Can you clap it one more time? I'm a musical.
Yeah, of course. Is the poison rhythm.
Go again.
Okay. Okay, so you guys are too good. So normally with a group of kids, someone or a couple of the kids would have clapped it, and then you're like, oh, that was the one. And then so they're like, oh no, and then they sit down and we keep going. So we'll keep going with that same rhythm just for a few more times. So,
Okay.
So did you find the words helpful? Like when you hear the rhythm, you're taking that to it. So it could be about like whatever. So Maria, what did you have for lunch today?
Spinach and cheese pie.
All right. So spinach and cheese pie. So we're going to add a second poison rhythm to make the game even harder. So we've got this is the poison rhythm and spinach and cheese pie.
Oh.
So we'll clap those together. So this is just so you remember what they are. So
Okay.
and then spinach and cheese pie. Alright, so try to go. Okay. So, and you can say things at the start like just to clarify between when you're learning the rhythms and when the game is starting. Things like. The poison rhythm game is about to begin, and the kids like can put their hands in the air. So the poison rhythm game is about to begin. Yeah, great guys. So, you can add in a third rhythm if you would like, which is an antidote rhythm. So the antidote rhythm can then revive the people who have been poisoned in the first place. And it could be something like putting words to it obviously is helpful again. So what's your favourite sport to play? Okay, what's your favourite karaoke song to sing?
Hotel California.
And then, so, then you are able to join the back.
Yeah, first.
No, it can be anyone. So if you all clap it, then you can all join back. So we've got spinach and cheese pie. This is the Poison Rhythm and Hotel California.
Oh man. Go to the hotel. When I get
Hotel
it.
California.
Okay.
What if they start with the same beat? What if they start with the same beat?
Yeah, so it's spinach and cheese pie and Hotel California. So there's the second. What's the
So
that one? So you can make it as easy or as difficult as you want. So you can play it just with the one Poison Rhythm and then everyone sits down and someone gets out. Or you can have the second rhythm as well, and then you can even add in an antidote, and then I'll add something else in a second. The Poison Rhythm game is about to begin. And then you can add in extra rules, like if you're in and you don't clap and it's not Poison Rhythm, then you're out as well. And then you can add on extra sort of body things like, can everyone just stand on one foot?
there you go.
We stand on the other foot. Would there be any volunteers that would like to make up Poison Rhythm words? How would you go about making up?
Eleanor. No, darn. She's a musician, so.
Well, it could be things like, what's the street name out front? Donald Cameron. Yeah, Donald Cameron. Could be a rhythm. It could be like, I play the violin, or my name's Alice, or things like fruit and vegetables and food and sporting teams and shoe colours and clothing and like whatever you can think of, you can make up rhythms out of. Okay, so Poison Rhythm, you can start all again is so that would be does it make sense?
Yeah.
Great. So that's one of the activities that we do a lot, and it's great because kids are engaged and it's funny, and you can do like turn around and everyone has to face different sides of the room. Kids have to have their eyes closed, they're not copying each other. And yeah, like you see, you can make it super complicated or it can be really easy. You can make 4-beat patterns, you can make 8-beat patterns, just by simply doubling whatever you were saying is a great way to make it longer. Or you can make it even shorter if you wanted just 2 beats or something like that. And just using names is a great way to get started.
So there's no one who would like to try this out. I can't believe that.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
No, I just had an idea. You could probably tie in whatever it is you're teaching the kids at that time, and that could be the antidote. So rather than the Poison Rhythm, you make that the antidote. So it's something they want to learn, something they want to remember. So like in our language sport class, we were doing cause and effect. So I don't know, you could cause and effect or something. Put that into your beat and then use that.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just going to ask, so where could this be used in the classroom? I mean, obviously it's fun, it's engaging. I'd love to hear from you all where you think you could use this, because yes, we're having fun here today, but how are we going to use this?
Evoke concepts and ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Words to remember, words that we need to revise, or part of the key learning unit.
Yeah, beautiful. Lovely. Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah.
Or we were talking about with our Year 12 English classes, I'm actually typing out quotes, like we're doing Crucible, Proctor is my name. Which was like
Anyone else got a place? Yeah.
Like, we're getting them to learn a Daggy song in trigonometry. So,
Yes.
yeah, we'll get them to learn sine and opposite and hypotenuse. And they're singing it. And we'll get them to play it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's so Daggy. Yeah. Sokotoa song. And it's like sine, opposite hypotenuse, sine. Yeah, it's so
Absolutely.
Daggy. And they were dancing, going out of the class singing it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about. You can use it. I mean, we can't fathom from our perspective where you might use it. There are so many opportunities, and so we're just trying to spark your imaginations about how you can use it. I certainly know in my science class, learning the periodic table was done to "We're Not Going to Take It" by Twisted Sister. You know, and it was the only way I could remember it. Hydrogen, helium, lithium. Beryllium, boron, carbon, and helium. So yeah, it is great just to start to have a think about these things. Okay, now I'll ask you again: would anyone like to come and lead it? Because it really is an opportunity. Get in front of your class and to do this for the first time. Might not. Fantastic. Thank you, Ajit. The floor is yours.
Right angle triangle, Sokotoa.
Maybe let's just start with the right angle triangle.
Yeah.
So that is our poison rhythm. So if you clap that one, you're going to sit down. So in between, it's this question and answer, and it's really great if we get a really regular beat happening through it. So you'd be clapping ta 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 ta, and people clap back, and it keeps going like that. If you start putting gaps in, and the students aren't then quite sure when they need to respond, so have a try, and in between you want to just make up patterns. So it could be simple as, and people clap that back, and then clap that back, and then you might chuck in a right angle triangle.
I make mistakes. I know.
Yeah, that's the talk. Yeah, that's what
Mistakes are
I'm
great. And then you would put in poison one, which is right angle triangle.
Oh my God, yes. Let's try.
Let's try. Standing up.
We're going to do clap again. So poison word is, it is
Who's ready?
Yeah.
Is that
I think we have a fabulous clapper here. Very nice. Thank you.
So this is an activity we use at the start of the day or at the start of sessions to get the attention of a large group without having to sort of check that everyone's in, everyone's ready, and everyone who, once you've already learned the activity with a large group of kids, they can just sort of join in whenever they like. So it starts with patterns of 7, and the first pattern of the 7 is 7 taps on your knees. So maybe we can just all do it together. So ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the second pattern, I like to think, it's helpful to think in images for each of these. So this one's you're pulling up a sandcastle. So maybe we can all do it together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, it ends back on your knees here. And then the next one is, I like to think in triangles. So you're kind of going to go out like this. So it starts on your knees, and then there's a clap in the middle, and then there's a click. So I'll show you first. So it goes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're always finishing on your knees. So we try that one slowly all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they build on each other. So you're starting with the knees, and then the second one comes up to the sandcastle, and the second one still goes from the sandcastle and then out to the click. So can we put all 3 of them together? So starting just the taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sandcastles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and clicks now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Is that the first one you did with the names, or were we standing up for that? You know how we did that, but with the names?
Ah, similar, yeah. So that we did an activity at the start where you could put in a percussive element, and within the gap is where you would say your name, and so you're passing a beat around a circle. Yeah, exactly right. And you can simplify and that sort of stuff as well. Even just like a Alice, and everyone repeats back, and so then you're getting this sense of beat and pulse and teamwork sort of working around. You can make them more complicated, like Alice, Alice. You can like whatever you like, but yeah, exactly. So 7 knees, and then 7 to triangles, and then your triangle, your sandcastle comes up to the click, which is the triangle that's coming out here. And then from the triangle click, we've got chewing gum. Thinking like you're pulling this chewing gum out. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's extra clicks in the middle. We'll try slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So from the start, so there's 7 taps, sandcastles, and then we add the click, and then we add in the chewing gum stretch.
So we're going to do 2 reps of each?
2 reps of each.
So we clap before we open again?
Yeah, so you've got your sandcastle clap, before we open again.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
Good, all right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sandcastle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Triangle. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now chewing gum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can call them out as you go. Things like sandcastle, chewing gum, knee. Sandcastle, chewing gum, knee. Instead of counting the numbers as well. Then the last one is, I just call it elbows because you touch your elbows. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So sandcastle, elbow, chewing gum, knee. Sandcastle, elbow, chewing gum, knee. Maybe we'll do this one a couple more times. So, sand, castle, elbow, chewing gum, knee. Sand, castle, elbow, chewing gum, knee. Doesn't matter which elbow you want to go for first. I just do this because it feels more natural for me. So, should we try the whole pattern together? So, knees, sand castles, and then we go out to triangles with the click, and then there's the chewing gum in the middle with the extra click, and then it goes to the elbows. The elbows one. So thinking sand, castle, elbow, and then there's a clap for the chewing gum, knees. So sand, castle, elbow, chewing gum. Yeah. Or you can say, sand, castle, elbow, clap. Clap, click, knees, if you want to say that. That's easy as well. All right, from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sandcastle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chewing gum. Sandcastle, chewing gum, knee. Sandcastle, chewing gum, elbows. Sandcastle, elbow, clap, click, knee. Sandcastle, elbow, clap, click, knee. All right, we'll do one more, and we'll take the speed up a little bit, just to see how we go. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Sandcastle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Click. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Chewing gum. Elbows. That's it. Yeah, it's kind of like you get your brain around it. Yeah. So that's the first activity we've got. Next one.
Great.
We'll do
I thought maybe we could do the shopping game. Has everyone heard of I went to the supermarket and I brought an apple, and then the next person, apple and a banana, apple, banana, carrot. It's kind of based on that concept, but we use the 6 food rhythms. Okay, so when we were doing Poison Rhythm, we're quite overwhelmed about making a 4-beat rhythm. You can use any of these guys here to create that 4-beat rhythm. They are all 1 beat, so you just pick 4 of them and create your rhythm. The first one is just pepper, so that's 1 clap. Yep. The second one is apple, 2 claps. Third one is pineapple.
Pineapple.
Fourth one is watermelon. So they are all even claps. Then we get to strawberry. This is where we have sort of like a
long syllable and 2 short syllables.
Strawberry. And then we have the opposite. Strawberry. And then the opposite.
Coconut.
Oh, sorry, coconut. Yeah, coconut. So, pear, 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 pear. That's more for if we want to create rhythms for Poison Rhythms, but to get used to the actual rhythms themselves, we could play the shopping game with it. So, say if I went to the supermarket and I bought an apple, and then the next person would say, I went to the supermarket and I bought an apple and a strawberry. Yep, do you want to Strawberry. 3. Strawberry.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a longer syllable. Strawberry. Yeah. Strawberry. Great. So we've got, I went to the supermarket and I bought an apple, a strawberry, and a
watermelon.
Apple, strawberry, watermelon. I went to the supermarket and I bought an apple, a strawberry, a watermelon, and a pear. Great. So it's just to familiarise with the options you have, a few basic options for the poison rhythm. Yeah?
So are you using it for a number of things, memory as well, like to remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, because we do an introduction going, my name is Tony, and I'm sitting alongside John, and then we go around the group. So this is similar to that, but with the rhythms, remembering the fruit.
Yeah, yeah. So this is great for if you've got a class full of people where rhythm is that they just don't really understand it. So you could use them to get familiar with the rhythms and then play things like poison rhythm. Yeah. Yeah.
So then essentially by the end of it you've got this really extra long,
You've
got to remember all that.
And yeah. So we could play, I'm just conscious of time. So the variation that we have is that you then eliminate saying the word and you just clap it. So I went to the supermarket and I bought an. I went to the supermarket and I bought an.
Yeah.
Strawberry. Oh yeah, I got that. Strawberry. Strawberry. Yeah. And you go around the whole circle like that. Should we have a go at that? Yeah. Okay. Does
Let's
everyone
put the words
have-
in to start with.
Yeah. Everyone's got a sheet. All right. I went to the supermarket and I bought a pear.
I went to the supermarket and I bought a pear and a strawberry.
Perfect.
Great.
That's
That
it.
was perfect.
I went to the supermarket and I bought a pear. Do I say it in word as well?
Yep.
Pear, apple, and oh no. No, Okay, no, it was a pear, strawberry, and then we've got watermelon. Did I say watermelon?
Yeah. Watermelon. Good. Yeah. Pear,
Okay.
strawberry, watermelon.
So I went to the supermarket and I bought a pear, strawberry, watermelon, apple.
Well done,
Great job.
I don't understand the order that people are doing these things in.
There's no order.
There's no order. It's
There is no
completely
order.
random.
There is
Completely
no
random.
disorder.
Yeah.
Now you still tend to
Yeah.
select your
Yeah.
So we're getting close.
I went to the supermarket and I bought a cocoa nut.
Oh no, there is an order.
That's where the memory part of it. Yeah.
They got me in a good way.
Yeah.
Watermelon, apple.
I've been set up. What the?
So you have to
Pear, strawberry,
Watermelon,
apple.
Oh, I can't possibly
Coconut.
remember all that.
Yes, you can.
So it's just a way of getting familiar with the rhythm. So when you play poison rhythm, you're not up the front going, okay, what saying can I remember for the poison rhythm and all that. You could just go pear, apple, pineapple.
Even a class of 25, you could rotate these.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a way for the kids to get familiar with clapping the syllables of fruits and stuff.
Eventually, you could
Yeah.
introduce the vocab of the class, whatever you say.
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure, for sure. You could
Yeah.
put different
So
words.
yes.
Yeah, different words to the. Yeah. I know a lot of people get overwhelmed when they think, okay, my rhythm has to be 4 beats, but did I do 5 or did I do 6 or?
And then how do
Yeah.
beats?
Yeah.
Beats are different from like sounds, like actual.
Yeah.
Like each of these equals 1. So it could be like pear is your 4, or apple, or pineapple. That's 4. You're getting your 4 beats rather than individual sounds. But yeah, it's just the syllables is the way it. So I think that's a great idea, using characters, and concepts and themes, and that is absolutely
And the trickiest thing that you have to get your head around with this sheet is that there are 3 fruits with 3 syllables, but they have different stresses. Exactly. So pineapple is 3 even claps. Pineapple. Whereas strawberry.
got long, quick.
Coconut. Yeah.
So why is that with the pineapple 3 even claps? Because of the words pineapple.
I think
It's the length of the syllables.
Yeah,
Pineapple,
but it's also just
pineapple.
the action. It's like based on the musical notation.
Yeah.
So this is what we would call a triplet.
which
Yeah.
is even. Yeah. So was there anyone here that wanted to have a go at poison rhythm with this in mind, making up different rhythms or just making up rhythmic combinations?
I can't do it.
Could you do it with a fruit that kids don't like? Could you like Brussels sprouts?
You could do whatever you liked. Yeah.
They don't like it.
Yeah, you could do whatever you like.
We could do Brussels sprouts with
Spinach.
this one.
Yeah, you're
With
right.
this-
Coconut,
this-
Brussels
yeah.
sprout,
So
it
it's gonna
sound the
be
same.
Brussels sprouts.
Yep, Brussels
Yeah.
sprout.
Quick and then sprouts.
Yeah.
So the other little, very quick game that I had to run over was the 1 to 10 counting game. You've probably heard of it. It's just where you count to whatever number you get up to, and it's you're in a circle. Anyone can start. The aim of the game is just to not say the number with someone else. Okay.
People can
So-
say it at any time.
We
Can be
need to continue
completely-
their numbers, but without saying the same.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And without there being a regularity around the circle.
Yeah.
So we're not counting like this. I could say 1, and you have to be aware of who comes next. And you might say 2, and then you could say 3. But then 2 of you jump in because you were seeing people's body language, and you say 4, and then we would go back to the start. And it's about building this sort of sensory sort of awareness of people around you.
Yeah, absolutely. And silence is also really good in this game. Often kids will want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're just jumping all over each other, and it defeats the purpose of the game. It's all about being aware of each other and engaged with each other. So to avoid, jumping in on top of each other. So I can start, and we can just have a bit of a go. We can go to whatever number we get to. 1.
2, 3,
4.
5.
7.
There we go. Not a bad effort. And I liked the amount of silence that there was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were all sort of...
Yeah.
That's the count game as well.
Wasn't silence, it was slowness.
So in terms of variations for that game, do we have any maths teachers? Yeah, so you could do this. You could do this with times tables.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could do this with pretty much anything to do with maths. Yeah, let's have another go at that one. I won't start this time.
1.
2.
3.
Didn't know what's next.
1.
Got 3.
2.
3, 4,
5.
6.
7,
8.
We did better than last time.
Yeah.
Improvement.
We said 8. Can you jump in again?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Someone's putting up their hands.
I've got
I
5
find
minutes.
when I play this game with drama students, they end up, every time 2 students talk over the top of each other, I always say, don't get angry, just go back to 1. And they'll say that they'll get to 9, they'll go 9 and go, oh you ruined it! And it's like, just bring it back to 1, it's fine. And they get all excited. Oh, you ruined it again!
Yeah.
So we never get to 10.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
To 10.
Yeah.
So in things like drama classes, you could get the kids to say the sounds differently each time. So some really loud, some quiet, some whispering, some really high-pitched sound. Yeah.
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 You could count by 3s, 5s.
Yep.
Times
Yep.
tables.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Times tables is a great one for this.
Mm.
Yep. 1.
2.
3.
4.
5.
6,
7.
8.
9,
10.
Hey, we're getting better. The other variation that you can do with this game is say every multiple of 4 is a clap instead of saying it, or a certain sound, or you could do, yeah.
They have to listen.
Yeah.
I suppose once it gets better with the numbers, you start introducing variations.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And the more they play, this game, the better they get at it. Yeah. So if we were doing the 3 times tables, we would go 3,
6,
yeah.
9, 12. And we'd say every... But this one, we're just substituting a multiple of with a sound. So we still say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But say if we're doing multiples of 3, we go 1, 2, and then someone will clap instead of saying.
So instead of the third one, it's a beat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah. So, do you want to start? 1,
2.
2
we do that?
4.
Yeah, but if you clap at the same time,
we go
then
back.
it go back. So this, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Great.
Good.
Let's go back into
Time.
our group. We're
Sorry.
going to go to
Thanks.
So using triple phrases, we came up with a rhythm and then we put it on our bodies to tap it out, yeah? So this is called body percussion. We're working with 2 phrases Gemma and I brought to the group, which is from a song that the Pizzicato kids wrote called What Makes a Pizzi Kid. And then we did a little game and we came up with a phrase, which we won't tell you just yet, from another little game. So here we go. Here's our little performance. Should we do that?
All right.
Got to see you already. 1, 2.
I'm listening.
Again.
I'm listening to music. I'm listening to music. One people, $1 a day. 1 billion people, $1 a day. 1 billion people, $1 a day. That's it. Feel how you're on the stage.
Have all of you been to see an orchestra perform?
Yeah.
Great. So you probably you go along and you see this person at the front. Hardly anything. And you go, what are they doing? Yeah. They're actually conducting. Providing someone to bring the whole all these musicians together. And they've started with a very simple technique, and then they've probably elaborated on it. But generally, they're keeping the beat, and they're telling, they're giving other gestures to let the musicians know how to interpret the music. So you are all going to become conductors today, and have the opportunity to conduct us, because we'll do a little performance at the end where you can conduct us. So I did some training in conducting, and my teacher said, one of the things about being a conductor, and if you're being a successful conductor, it's not necessarily what you do on the podium, the little in front of the orchestra. It's convincing everyone, and that can be up to 100 people, from once you enter the room and walk to the podium, just your presence and your posture will convey the conviction that you need. I find that extraordinary, and I find it absolutely true, which I think the others might agree with that. If you see someone, and being teachers, you know what it's like. If you're having a bit of a tough day and you walk in and go, and they run amok on you, don't they? They just walk all over you. Whereas,
No, you'll be walking, talking to yourself, and they go,
whereas if you maybe leave that behind and go, okay, I might feel that within, but if I take the posture of, okay, I mean business, then you're going to get some respect, yeah, or they're going to at least listen to you. So let's stand. I like bringing this kind of posture. Of course, to playing the violin, you need good posture and everything, but you can relate it to sport. I have a lot of young students, and they're playing soccer. You're being a goalie, so you've got this kind of stance. Whereas we just recently did a workshop and the conductor was talking about doing Tai Chi. I don't know whether any of you do Tai Chi. So that Dantian, you've got this energy in front of you, and you've got your knees unlocked, and you've got this presence in front of you, yeah? That's actually quite nice, but you can take that to boxing, you know, or tennis. What have you got? So whatever you think will relate to your students and to yourself, let's pretend we're in front of 100 people and we're going to be convincing in our gestures. Great. So we've got our hands in front of us. We can take a shape of our thumb and second finger, like nicely curved. And this is what we're going to use as... Oh, we could actually have a white baton if we wanted to. Really, really good. But we don't need that for the moment. But this is going to keep the pulse. Now, you're a karaoke fan then, are you? I'm going to bring up the karaoke again. So you know how you have that little bouncing ball going from syllable to syllable? Yes. This is how your hand's going to actually move. So that gentle pulse is going to come out like that ball. So there's a pattern we follow. We're going to think that we're doing a pattern in 4, yeah? And I might turn around because it's a little bit easier. So 1 is down, 2 is to the left, 3 is to the right, and then we go up for 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll be back to front to you now. 3, 4. Yeah, that's great. That's great. So yeah, if you keep it in this kind of around here rather than this, yeah, it's probably a little bit better for your shoulders as well as just keeping an eye on it. So let's just try that again. Good. 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. And of course you can do this in the mirror. Great, that's good. And what does this hand do? It just... What do you think else we need to instruct? Yeah, so if I go like this, what would I be suggesting?
Increase volume.
Yeah, good. And then down.
Decrease.
Yeah. It is. So you have to be, you do need to kind of practice it. So it's amazing what you can do. What's that rubbing and, that kind of thing? Yeah. Good, great, okay. I think we're nearly ready. We need 2 more gestures, as in, how do you get people to stop? They're making all this noise. Very perfect. You can think of you're taking off 2 apples off a tree or something like that. It's like, stop. Yeah. Do we all have that experience? I was milking the cow this morning, and yeah, that's right. Poor cow. Okay, so that's off. And how do we start?
Tap, tap, tap.
Oh, great. Okay, like when you're about to say something, we breathe in, yeah? So there's a inward breath, as in the tempo that we're going to take. So I could think 1, 2, 3. And of course I could do this, yeah? And
can you
there.
do 1, 2, 3, 4 then?
1, 2,
No,
3.
hands.
Oh!
What do you have to do?
1, 2, 3, and up. 1, 2, 3. And then breathe in. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So a common way of bringing in someone, I could just go, and there, you're going to go there. Yeah? And there. Great. That looks good. Okay, we'll speed up because we're running out of time. 4 looks easy for you guys. Let's go into 3, because the piece that we're going to play very quickly, or maybe depending on the tempo that you give us, is in 3. So we cut out the 2 to the left. So we go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Easier? Okay, I like 3. And you've got a real 1, which is nice, like you're waltzing. Yeah, 3, 1, 2. Let's speed this up a little bit, because the piece that you're about that tempo is quite nice. Shall I turn around again? And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And let's go a little bit louder. We can be doing. And a little bit softer, maybe. And maybe let's speed up. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Great. Okay, I think you're overqualified now. Our instruments. Who would like to be conductor of a mini Melbourne Symphony Orchestra? You're out.
You'll be amazing.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much.
I've always wanted to do that.
I'm intrigued to see how you're going to conduct your classes. These are the ideas. We won't have instruments. What would you do? How would you bring it in?
With a stick bigger than that.
That's a bow. So how could we use this in the classroom?
Mindfulness at the beginning, and then vocab words to reinforce vocabulary, words, syllables.
If there's a popular song that they know, get them to sing it.
It's about introducing it bit by bit to something they subscribe to. Like, I'm a maths teacher, and I was teaching how to draw graphs, and I said, the big fat dot method. You draw 2 big fat dots, and they buy into that. And they go, oh, 2 big fat dots.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
You could use the hand gestures because you know there are some teachers who try to get attention by holding the hand up like that, and all the kids will do it. And they're like, bring the volume down.
There are lots of opportunities, absolutely. And I think we've found today, I mean, even it's 6 o'clock at night, and there's quite a lot of energy in the room. You can see that even for you at the end of the workday, this stuff gets you into your body, and we're all engaged. I can see you're all focusing on me, you're all focusing completely on the musicians. So it's great to get out of the mind and into the body, and you know, if there's music playing, I mean, you can bring music into your classrooms, and what you said, you know, the kids will do the same action you're doing. You can take a percussion instrument into your room, and this rhythm, a poison rhythm, or whatever rhythm you want to use, can be a sign that you want quiet, and they'll respond because they've got to get into their bodies. It's amazing how it can work. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody's input today. It's been a really wonderful session. I'd like to let you all go home after a really long day. You should have copies of all the activities. If you don't, please don't worry. Come and see me afterwards. You can get them. Also, I will email everybody with a certificate of attendance. And all these will be online. So you'll get a link on your email. If you're not particularly tech savvy, you can just click on it and you will land on the PizzIMMERSION page. And everything will be there. If there's something you want to check up, we'll be updating that regularly, and I'll also let you know about that. If you're having trouble, if you need help, we have an email address called PizzAssist, and I'll also send you a link to that, so that we can, you know, I don't want you to go away from this and feel, oh, I loved it, but I can't do it. So we will be doing more PD, so I really encourage you to come back because you're a great group. And yeah, so there will be another PD next term. Oak Park has put their hand up for Tuesday the 13th of November, and I'll send you some information around that, so check out your email. I just wanted to say thank you so much to the teaching artists. It's been a really fantastic day, and especially to you all for really, really getting involved. It really doesn't work unless it's a two-way street, so thank you. Thanks heaps to Tony for setting all this up, and obviously Fernando was hugely instrumental in this as well, for the wonderful snacks.
Instrumental.
So yeah, thanks again for having us. We really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.